Welcome back to Jawa Recaps. Today, we're diving into the action horror world of Ziam 2025. The air is tense, the world is collapsing under climate change, and a mysterious experiment unleashes a zombie outbreak inside a hospital. In the middle of this chaos stands Singh, a former Muay Thai fighter, fighting not just for survival but to rescue his fiancée, Drin. Get ready, because this battle is not only against the undead, it's about proving that determination is stronger than fear. The story starts and we see Earth's environment is completely destroyed. Temperatures kept rising, bringing waves of destruction along with them. The layers of ice in the polar regions began to melt, and ancient bacteria hidden in the oceans started spreading deadly diseases through fish. Most countries around the world were on the brink of collapse. At such a time, a country named Thailand fell under the control of a powerful commander named Vasu. His wife was suffering from a mysterious illness, and her life depended on regular blood transfusions. One day, Vasu got word that fresh fish from the deep sea might be able to cure his wife's disease. He spent millions to open a special smuggling route so he could bring those fresh fish into the country. Fish had become so valuable that people were ready to die, even for the head of one. Vasu thought, why not use this as an opportunity to start a new raw fish market in the country? When the first shipment arrived, one of Vasu's associates ate a piece of raw fish in front of everyone. Suddenly, his body began to tremble violently and blood started pouring from his mouth. He was immediately rushed to the hospital. But before the surgery could even begin, he died. When doctors scanned him, they found strange bacteria in his veins. But the truly terrifying twist came when just a short while later, his body began to move again. Drin, who was handling the case, was discussing the matter with the hospital director when suddenly two nurses came running with the same dead man following close behind them. The man came running back to life. He bit the nurse, and within minutes she too turned into a ferocious zombie. Then she started attacking everyone. In no time the entire hospital turned into chaos. Drin hid herself in the storeroom. A wounded patient was hiding there with her. When she went to take a peek outside, she turned around and the patient had vanished. That's when she felt it. She was no longer alone. When she looked around, the patient had now turned into a zombie. Fortunately, there were some shells between them. Rin somehow managed to escape. She felt like someone was calling out to her, and the voice sounded very familiar. Listening carefully, she realized it was her boyfriend Singh, who was contacting her through radio communication. The surprising thing was Singh was a former boxing champion who later, due to circumstances, started working in the fish trade. It was those very fish that had spread this disaster, and it was Singh and his associates who had brought them into the country. That day he was waiting at home for Ren when he heard the emergency news on the radio that the hospital where Ren worked had been completely sealed off. His heart sank. He rushed toward the hospital. The army had surrounded the building. People were panicking. No one knew what was happening inside. Just then, a nurse jumped from the upper floor. As soon as the soldiers picked her up, she suddenly attacked them. The soldier shot her, but by then, one soldier had already been injured. Singh was just about to enter during the chaos when the soldiers ordered all civilians to gather in the hospital. A security guard was trying to get everyone in line. But just then, some people come running down from above. And at the same time, a zombie appears with a loud scream. As soon as the zombie leapt into the hall with a shriek, the entire ground floor was destroyed. Now the virus began spreading through the hospital at lightning speed. Terrifying screams started echoing on every floor. Without wasting any time, Singh headed straight to the broadcast room. Although he couldn't get in touch with his girlfriend Ren, he managed to send her a message that he was now inside the hospital. Using his powerful boxing skills, he took down the zombies in his path within seconds. Amid the chaos, he saw a young boy trapped and surrounded by zombies on all sides. Without a moment's hesitation, Singh rushed in, took down several zombies, and rescued the child. At first, he thought he had just saved an innocent life. But he was surprised when the boy revealed that his mother was a friend of Ren's. And if they could find her, there might be a chance to find Ren too. Now, Singh had a new ray of hope. Along with the boy, he started moving swiftly through the hospital. Whenever there were too many zombies on the way, they would hide in a room and wait for the right moment to escape. Singh witnessed with his own eyes how some people, having lost all hope, were ending their own lives. But inside him was a fierce determination. He had to get Ren out of this death trap hospital at any cost. What he didn't know was that the army had completely surrounded the hospital. Now, anyone who tried to get out, infected or not, was being shot on sight because the military commander had realized how dangerous the virus was. They had made the decision to blow up the entire hospital in 30 minutes so the virus wouldn't spread further. Meanwhile, Ren was hiding in a medical room with a few remaining survivors, but she felt that hiding like this for too long wasn't the right thing to do, and she was also deeply worried about her boyfriend. She gathered her courage and stepped out. Her plan was to reach the security room and check the CCTV cameras, hoping to catch a glimpse of Singh. But the moment she got inside, her heart sank. Every hallway was filled with zombies. She quickly started switching the camera feeds, and that's when she saw a shocking face. Vasu was in the ICU room. Vasu was the same man who used to be the most powerful commander in Thailand. And it was for his sick wife that this fish smuggling had taken place. Ren understood that this room was the safest part of the hospital. Without wasting time, she ran there. Vasu himself opened the door. He and his wife were already inside. This room had always been in isolation. Ren asked Vasu, "What do we do now? How long can we keep hiding like this?" Vu looked at his watch and calmly said, "Don't worry. Help is coming for us very soon." And Vasu's words turned out to be true. As soon as the military found out that Vasu and his wife were trapped in the hospital, they immediately prepared a special commando team whose mission was to bring Vasu out alive no matter what. Meanwhile, as time passed, the number of zombies in the hospital increased. Singh changed his strategy. Instead of taking the stairs, he climbed up the building using the pipes and under construction scaffolding outside the hospital along with the child. After reaching the third floor, they managed to outsmart several zombies and finally found the child's mother in the newborn baby's ward. Amidst all the fear and destruction, when the son and mother met each other, their eyes were filled with tears and their hearts with relief. But there was a different kind of sorrow in the mother's eyes. She said to Singh, "Take care of my son. I don't think I will be able to survive much longer." Singh understood what she meant. He now knew that Ring was in the emergency ward on the 5th floor. Without wasting a moment, he took the child and rushed out of there. The boy's mother had already turned into a zombie, but Love was not ready to leave his mother. Crying, he ran towards her to hold her. But the moment he turned around, he saw that his mother had fully transformed into a zombie. Singh instantly understood the gravity of the situation. Staying there could be fatal. He quickly grabbed a torn piece of cloth and tied Love tightly to his back. Then making his way through the crowd of zombies, he moved forward. Meanwhile, Dr. Rin, who was hiding in the ICU, was assigned a new responsibility. The life of Commander Vasu's wife now depended on bags of blood, and the stock was nearly gone. Rin was the doctor in charge, and she couldn't say no. She shook off her fear and stepped out of the ICU. Every few steps along the way, she encountered zombies, but by now, Rin had understood their movement patterns and managed to narrowly escape each time. On the other side, Singh and Love had reached the 5th floor. At one turn, Singh found Ren's chain lying on the ground. His heart started pounding rapidly. Just then, he saw Ren running toward a room with an entire horde of zombies chasing her. There was no way to retreat now. A fire of rage ignited in Singh's eyes, and without thinking, he leapt into the zombie crowd. He had only one determination: to save his Ren. On the other side, a commando team from the army had entered the hospital with heavy weapons. Their mission was to escort Vasu and his wife safely to the helipad. But just then, one of the soldiers got infected after being bitten by a zombie. Vasu was once again reminded of Dr. Ren. Now, his wife needed even more care and protection. Meanwhile, Singh somehow carved his way through the zombies, tearing them apart and locked eyes with Ren through a glass wall. For a moment, time seemed to stand still. But suddenly, a zombie lunged at Ren. Fortunately, just then, Love activated a fire extinguisher, which slowed the zombie down. Singh immediately jumped in and brutally crushed the zombie to death. After a long time, the lovers were finally reunited. But in the midst of all this destruction, there was no time for emotions. They quickly decided to leave the hospital. However, as soon as they stepped outside, a bullet hit Singh directly and he collapsed to the ground. The shot had been fired by the same soldiers who had come looking for Durin. They had mistaken Singh for a zombie. By the time they realized their mistake, it was already too late. The soldiers, however, showed no remorse. They had only one duty: to ensure Ren's safety. As Singh lay on the ground watching all this, rage erupted within him. He gathered himself, stood up, and charged at the soldiers, roaring in fury. He no longer distinguished between humans and zombies. Anyone who stood in the way of his beloved was now his enemy. A senior officer, who had been silent until then, turned out to be a skilled fighter himself. Singh and he clashed head-on. Both ended up bloodied and collapsed to the ground unconscious. By then, all the remaining soldiers had already been killed, mostly at the hands of the zombies. Now only Ren was left in the field. She somehow bandaged Singh's wounds and he slowly began to regain consciousness, but they had no idea that the army had given the order to blow up the entire hospital. Now they had only one task: to escape. Ren and Singh were just looking into each other's eyes when suddenly Love shouted. A new danger had arrived from behind. The officer who had fought Singh just a while ago had now turned into a zombie. But Singh had already made a plan. He lured the zombified officer into a room. As soon as they got there, Singh threw several liquor bottles one after another. Then, in full style, he lit a matchstick and the entire room was engulfed in flames. Singh was confident. This hospital was equipped with the country's most advanced fire safety system. And that's exactly what happened. Within moments, the sprinklers activated and the fire was extinguished. But the story didn't end there. As soon as the infected zombies were drenched in the spray, another transformation began in their bodies. Their movements became faster. Their limbs turned flexible and deadly. Their teeth became so thick and sharp, it was enough to chill anyone to the bone. As Singh and his team turned into the next corridor, they saw Vasu coming from the opposite side. But what appeared alongside him was beyond anyone's imagination. Vasu's wife, who had been infected earlier, had now completely transformed into another form after being soaked in the rainwater. Ren understood. It had all started from eating that fish, but Vasu stood still, unmoving, as if ready to embrace his death. His wife bit him, and all the nearby zombies also pounced on him at once. In just a few seconds, not a trace of Vasu remained. Meanwhile, the fast-moving zombies now pounced on Singh's team. They were so agile that it seemed impossible to escape. Singh ordered his team to fall back and stayed behind alone to buy them some time. He sent Ren and Love ahead. Singh got trapped inside a car. Zombies all around. Ren and Love somehow made it to the rooftop where a helicopter was already waiting. When the soldiers heard of Vasu's death, they decided to save Ren. Ren kept pleading, "Just 5 more minutes. Singh is coming." But by then, Singh was completely surrounded inside the vehicle by a swarm of zombies. Suddenly, there was a loud explosion. All the zombies were blown to bits because Singh had pulled the pin on a grenade at the last moment, but the noise and smell of blood attracted even more zombies. Singh had no choice but to run. He pushed with all his strength and finally made it to the rooftop, but the chasing zombies weren't far behind. Now, it was either he stopped or Ren's life would be in danger. Singh stopped himself. Ren, crying in the helicopter, could do nothing but watch. Singh smiled as he looked at the helicopter flying away into the distance. He was now at peace. Knowing his girlfriend was safe, he turned around and prepared for his final battle. At that very moment, the timer of the bomb placed to blow up the hospital reached 0. A massive explosion occurred. Fierce flames engulfed the entire hospital. Singh, along with countless zombies, was reduced to ashes. And that wraps up our recap of Ziam 2025. So tell me, do you think Singh was just an action hero, or was the story really about loss, sacrifice, and hope? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Jawa Recaps for more horror action recaps coming your way. See you in the next one, and stay ready for the zombies.